Hello everyone, this is Stock Market Daily. Thank you for joining me today. It is June 14th, 2023. So today was the big day that everyone has been waiting for. It was the FMOC meeting with Chairman Jerome Powell, and you could see that happened right here at 2 o'clock Eastern. However, before that, we did have the PPI data, the producer price index data that was released, and you wouldn't even be able to tell that that was good data here because we didn't gap up or anything. We just kind of opened up maybe a slightly higher than yesterday's close, but the data did show that inflation is coming down for producers, and it's actually been coming down for the last, I believe, 10 months. So the data was pretty good in that regard. Now, from there, we did quickly rally, and we had a pretty strong rally, and it did seem like we're going to hit 4,300, 40, I'm sorry, 4,400. Can't believe I'm saying it, but we almost did hit 4,400, but got rejected at 43.91. So I put a trend line right here at 43.91. Not that it even needs a trend line because I know this is a big level, but for some reason, 10 points above and beyond the big numbers like 43, 4,400, and 4,100 was always a big resistance and support level. So just as a reminder, if we're going to come up here again, I would like, this is a good reminder that 4,400 is not the actual resistance and support level yet, that there's, about 10 points gap between that where we could potentially sell off or bounce from. So anyway, from that point on, when we hit that, we did sell off and kind of consolidate it right here. Right at this point is when the notes came out, and there was a little bit of a surprise. Obviously, as you could see, the market did not like some of the things that were said. So the part that was not a surprise is that we did pause rates for now, so there was no rate increase. However, it did indicate that they will be raising at least rates. They will be raising rates at least two more times, and they are essentially saying that the economy is doing really well and booming. However, the issue is that inflation is still very sticky, and they foresee raising rates at least two more times. So with this kind of negative or hawkish tone, stocks, everything pretty much starts selling off. And then Chairman Jerome Powell started doing the interviews, and he didn't sound very hawkish. He was more dovish. And as you could see, the market liked his tone and they liked what he was saying to a degree. He wasn't revealing too much about the fact that, when they're going to increase rates or raise rates again or anything like that. He just said everything's data dependent. So still left a lot of questions on the table, and the market essentially, well, ended flat for the day, right? So we went up 0.08%. So we ended flat for the day. And that was it for the meeting. So this big day today was kind of like a nothing burger unless you got shaken out here, or maybe even here. I'm sure people started taking profits when we're approaching this big high level. And that's what probably caused the sell-off. Especially, it would be smart to take profits right here, right before the announcement. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen tomorrow and Friday, given that we still have we do have some more data coming in here from the US and also abroad. I believe China and either Japan or Taiwan or something, or they're going to have some data coming out that is important and could pretty much drive our markets in a certain direction. So that is it for today in the analysis part. Let's in the trades part, I did mention yesterday that unless we did really drop to a, what was it? I believe it was, let's take a look. If it was somewhere in the 42.60 level or so, if it was going to be such a significant drop that I was going to deploy and sell some puts here. Obviously, that never happened. In fact, there's no reason why it couldn't have happened, but we did hold this 43.40 as support. So that's a good level to watch going forward. It was a little bit, you could say it was a little bit below that, but 43.40 is an even number. So, but it wasn't enough. There wasn't enough premium in any of these options. I was actually even thinking, okay, even if 42.75 or something, 42.80 was pushing it for me if I was going to start selling puts. But again, there wasn't enough premium for those options, even when we were, literally falling off a cliff. So I decided to just sit out, and during this time, I had a few other accounts that were have SPX trades on them, and they have call positions. So I rolled them into farther out dates. I'm not going to show that here, but I did do that on another account. And also on this account, I did trade the Shopify and Tesla. Those covered calls are also pretty much trapped. They're in the money. So I was rolling them from Shopify from $55 to $56, and Tesla from 226 strike price to a 230 strike price. So I used the opportunity. I figured that people might have been waiting for today's meeting to figure out what their next steps are, and it seemed like that nothing major is going to be changing in terms of the direction of the market. So I decided that right now is probably a good opportunity, just so these calls do not get called away, and I don't want to lose my stock. I rather roll them up into a farther out date at a higher strike price and avoid having them being called away. But if they do, I'm completely fine with it because I've already made plenty of money on Tesla and Shopify. So that's what I did on this account. And actually, I never ended up looking at my May totals up until today. And I thought I'd share that because I always do share the total for every month. And sometimes I do a mid-month update. And after I did the May total, I was kind of surprised with the performance. 52,498 for the month of May, which is awesome. One of the best months so far, obviously. Really did help a lot that I was selling a bunch of calls that are now unfortunately trapped. However, we do have a plan for that. We're going to be getting out of those at some point. We're looking at this one specifically. We're going to split this one in half, possibly tomorrow. It actually depends on how the market is performing, but probably going to either split it in three or in half and move it up into higher strike prices and then go forward from there. So that is it for today. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.